If I get quiet, just kind of do that thing, okay? First of all, good morning. What an honor and pleasure it is to be here. I've been to this group before. It was 10 years ago. In this same room, or maybe the room right there.
Yeah.
I can't rightly recall because they're so close together. But I've been here when I thought about writing books, maybe 15 years ago. And because I had it in my heart to do that, but I had a different profession at the time. I was telling Miss Cheryl that I was a male stripper, and now I got what they call glitter brain, because all the glitter we wear. And it went to my brain, and now I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, none of that's true. My wife wished I would quit saying that story. I want to say, first of all, I appreciate Nolan for calling me. And I got a hold of him this morning to make sure that we were still meeting, because some folks do get scared of the weather, don't they? And Nolan said that his wife was sick. Is it okay that we pray for her right now? Being that we're in church and everything, right? I'm going to go ahead and do it whether you want to or not, but if you want to, you can join me. But we're going to lift up Nolan's wife because she's hurting. All right? And as far as I'm concerned, if somebody's hurt, we need to pray for them right in that moment. So let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessings of life. Grace and mercy is abundant. Lord, our cups do truly run over. There's not a soul in this room, not one of us, Lord, that had to worry about where we're going to get food, whether there's heat, whether there's clothes. We had no worries. Lord, Nolan does. He worries about his wife. He's with her. And Lord, we just lift her up in this moment. We lift up our failings to you, and we lift all these things up in Jesus' holy name for healing and revival. Lord, we love you. Amen. Amen. Thank you all so much for letting me do that, because I was going to do it anyways. I'm proud with that. My books, when I decided to write books, now y'all can ask any question you want at all about selling books. I sell books everywhere. Walmart. My books, you can go on Walmart right now, walmart.com, and look me up. You'll see my books, Walmart, Amazon, of course, Amazon, Target, even Temu. If y'all ever shopped in the Chinese sites, my books are on Temu. They're everywhere you could imagine. And I'm not trying to sound braggadocious. I'm going to tell you, if you want to talk about selling books, we'll talk about selling books. You don't need to know the process of writing books, because obviously all y'all write books. Absolutely. So nobody needs notes on the process. But if you need, if you want to find out how my books are, the Rocky Top book became the book of the year at Barnes & Noble. I've signed every Barnes & Noble in the state of Tennessee. Of course, was at the grand opening of the Turkey Creek store. One of the first authors there to sign. And my books we've been blessed. We sell a lot of books. I'm on my second publisher because my first publisher couldn't keep up with printing the books. I'm just being as frank as possible. I'm not. If it sounds bragging, forgive me, because that's not my style. I just usually let my hair do the talking. Whatever. At the end of the day, you can ask questions about any of that stuff. When I started writing books a little over 10 years ago, I write Christian books. Now, we know that there's one great one that's written, so nobody, ain't no sense. All we're doing is writing ideas and how you can get to that big, great one called the Bible. And ultimately, I write Christian books. I sell them like crazy. They're all on Amazon. I sell them all around the world. I get questions from English-speaking countries all the time. And church groups and Bible groups pick them up. And we do really well with those books. Very, very well. But I had it in my heart to write The Little Orange Tea. Little Orange Tea is a character that I created. It's a story of the lowercase t. It grows up to be the Tennessee Power Tea. If you ain't heard of the Tennessee Power Tea, open your ears when you leave the room. I'm not going to explain it to you. But bottom line is, we all grew up from a little person to a bigger person. So the Little Orange Tea grows up to be the Tennessee Power Tea. It has tons of state history in it. It speaks both to the parents, and it speaks to as children, as adults, not as children. Does that make sense? Because they're a whole lot more sophisticated than we think they are. Their cell phones prove it. Needless to say, from the Little Orange Tea, which is my character, so it doesn't have to be licensed by the university. I created the Little Orange Tea. It's for sale in the Vol Shop, with the UT Hospital. Just everywhere you could imagine. I already mentioned a few places. Storefronts everywhere. It doesn't have the licensing button on it because I own it. It's the only thing in the Vol Shop that the university sells that doesn't have a licensing button on it because they don't own it. I do. Needless to say, they adopted it. We've been blessed with coaches reading stuff on the internet. I could go on and on. You can look at the Little Orange Tea's like asking somebody if they want to have dinosaur for dinner. People don't look at websites, not hardly at all. They go on your social media, which is your personal website, your book's personal website. Hardly people ever go to .com, but it's okay to have if they're cheap enough. Anyway, there's videos and stuff, Little Orange Tea, all the different things that we do with it. Ultimately, Little Orange Tea is becoming a brand. So I made a deal. I got rid of my first publisher, Mascot. They do books for universities because they couldn't sell. Like I said, Barnes & Noble called me. They couldn't get books fast enough. So I got rid of them after a few years, and I got with Jan Carroll Publishing, who I love, out of Johnson City, Tennessee, because I wanted my books to be all Tennessee, 100%. So my publisher, writer, my illustrator lives right over the street here, Christy Lynch, and they're printed, published, and written everything in Tennessee. So Jan Carroll put us at the top of the list. We're the book that they send out the most. Of course, we sell a lot of books. Anyway, so the brand is what I was getting on about. The brand, you've seen the sticker. I have some stickers here if you want for your car, because I want as many people to see the Little Orange Tea as humanly possible, because I own the Little Orange Tea. So I made a deal with my publisher. I said, look, here's the deal. Let's sell books. We were selling them at 50-50. I said, that's not a good deal. She said, what do you mean we sell them 50-50? She said, I got to print them. I got to distribute them. I got to ship them, all that stuff. I said, not a good deal. No. She said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I want you to make 70 and me make 30. She said, now how you tell me that's a good deal? You're taking less. I said, because I want you to sell more books. I want you to put the book at the front of the line and sell as many books as humanly possible. If somebody calls you for it, I want you to get it out first, because with everybody else in their stable of authors, you make 50-50 at best. Well, with me, I want you to make 70-30. She said, why is that? I said, because I'm building a brand. That Little Orange Tea, if you've seen it before or not, it doesn't matter. Now you've seen it, you're stuck with it forever. So one of these days, I'm going to sell it because I own it. And when I sell it, the more people that know it, the higher price I can sell it for. Does that make sense? So I'm not trying to make a buck off of a book right now. It don't matter to me. Let her make the money right now. I want her to get it out there so that more people know it, more kids grow up with it. So when my wife and I decide to sell the Little Orange Tea, its likeness and everything that goes with it, the books, the original paintings, all the stuff that goes with it, that's when I'll make my cheddar cheese. You know the cheddar cheese? You'll make it rain. Remember back when you used to go to the male stripper bars and y'all used to make it rain? It's a joke. I know we shouldn't say that in church. That's all right. Needless to say, so we sell as many Little Orange Tea books as possible so that we can raise the awareness of the brand, so we can raise the value of the brand. So when we sell the brand, it sells at a higher price. Capiche? That's Italian for understand. All right, so there's a Little Orange Tea. The next book, The Little Orange Tea's Great Tennessee Adventure with Smokey and all Tennessee stuff. And then we stepped out and we wrote the new book last year. It's called Rocky Top. Rocky Top's one of the Tennessee state songs. We have 6 state songs. It's just one of them. Y'all hadn't heard it. I would encourage you to Google it when you leave. It's a fantastic song about illegal alcohol, unmarital sex, and murder. Listen to the lyrics. It's about illegal alcohol, unmarital sex, and murder. So I decided to write a children's book about that. And it took some doing. So, and it's blowing up. Blowing up means it's really popular. We've been blessed with it. We're on the second print now. They're printing the second print. I noticed in selling children's books and having 3 laid out there that when parents bring their kids, we're blessed. Every time I sign Barnes & Noble, there's a line to the back of the store. Always with kids, getting your picture made. It's a wonderful thing. And they get to pick one of those books. They always pick the one with the fun character on the cover. You could have a beautiful cover. They judge the book by its cover. You know that, don't you? That's how kids do. They're going to judge the book by its cover. So the new Rocky Top book, that's sitting in the middle there. That'll have all the characters on it. We change the cover on the second print. Because that's what kids pick out. They'll pick those other ones with the smiling faces on it before they pick that one. That tells the story. Anyway, the day I got with Mascot Books, they fell in love with the Little Orange Tea, and they loved it. They wanted to publish it, and we were so blessed. You know that feeling you get if a publisher picks you up, you're just like, wow, it's like winning the lottery. It's unbelievable. You feel a fantastic blessing. And so They did that, and I bought me a couple cases of books from them. They shipped them to me, gave me a good discount. You know how they do. And I got these cases of books at home. Anybody got any books at home? Your own book at home? Yeah, you got cases of them. I got cases of them, you know. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with these, man? I thought I was a writer, you know, and I wrote some Christian books and used social media to promote it. Had never spent a penny on advertising. Zero. Use social media. 100%. Never spent a penny on social media. So I got this case of books, and they're kicking around the car. I don't know what to do with it. It's a true story now. I drove over to Barnes & Noble. Anybody been in Barnes & Noble? Come on now. Everybody wants their book in the store at Barnes & Noble. So I went to Barnes & Noble. I had a case of books. There's 30 of them in a case. I walk in there with that brown box. I was feeling proud, right? I had a little orange. She just feeling so proud of it. I set it on a counter. I said, I need to talk to the manager. Now, I'm a little sassy sometimes. If that bothers you, well, too bad. I'm just going to carry on. So I set that case down. I said, I need to talk to the manager. Because all them books are there. I want my book at the Barnes & Noble, right? I mean, that's a great accomplishment. They said, hey, fella, you just can't carry books in here and sell. That don't work like that. I said, no, I ain't even trying to sell books. This is why I looked at her and said, I ain't even trying to sell books. Not at all. He said, what's in that case? I said, it's books. She said, well, what are you planning on doing with that? I said, I'm going to give them away. Everybody works in this store gets a book today. Everybody. She said, well, I'm the manager. That's no lie. I said, well, fancy to meet you. I said, how many people you got working? She said, I don't know, maybe 8 people is what she said. I said, good, well, there's 30 books in there. I said, everybody come, you send them over here. I'm going to sign a book for them. They get it for free. Every employee. And then you get to keep what's left over. So you give them to your family, whatever you want to do. That's just a part of what we got to do. Now, I gave everybody in the store that book, said hi to them, signed their name, whatever they wanted. You know how you do. Just glad to sign my name in the book. I couldn't believe somebody wanted me to do that. 1 week later, my book was for sale, Barnes & Noble. I got a call. My buddy seen it on the shelf. It's on the local, you know, the local Tennessee authors. They got that section there. Man, I walked in there. I had tears in my eyes. Couldn't believe my book was in Barnes & Noble. Never, ever dreamed that would happen. Never, ever. Never, ever. Now, I took it, you know how they got it on the long way? I took it, put the face out, you know, and I did make sure I took some pictures with it. You know, social media. I made a video walking right into the store, right to my books, that get, you know, on social media. Couldn't believe it. From there, I told that manager, I said, anytime you want me to show up, sign books, you get books in, you just text me. Got a case of books. I'll come by, you sell nothing but signed books. I'll drive over there, no problem. Sign books, takes me 5 minutes. Sign every book, they sell them as signed copies. And every single store after that I went into and did the same thing. Everybody in the store gets a book. Now, you know as well as I do, come on, let's be honest with each other. I'd give my sister that book. She hadn't read it yet. Book's 10 years old. Your own family ain't even going to read what you write. Look, and I'm not trying to be rude or crude. Let's be frank about it. People don't care. They don't care. If they cared what you wrote, what I wrote, they would care what God wrote. And he's got book salesmen everywhere. In every language. There's buildings all over the place called churches trying to sell books. He wrote a book a long time ago. People don't care. Unless you care enough to make them care. That's all there is to it. They don't care unless you do. And I don't care, I'm telling you, I don't care how good of a writer you are. I don't care. That don't matter how fancy and how great you are drawing a picture with your words. It don't matter. Nobody's going to read your book unless you sell it. You better be a better book salesman than you are a writer if you want people to read what you wrote. Period. I don't care what you wrote. Don't care. And you don't care what I wrote. You're not going to read it. Who's going to read it? Be frank with me. Unless you have that passion to sell it. Then people will read it. I promise you. Now, my sister don't get the passion. She grew up with me. I guarantee she said, oh, that's nice, yeah. It's still sitting over there. She hadn't cracked it no how. I don't even ask her about it because I don't want her to disappoint me. When I say, what was your favorite part? It's a picture book. She didn't even have to read it. Just look at the pictures, tell the story. Anyhow, you got to sell books. And if you don't sell books with passion, ain't nobody going to read your book. I don't know all the fancy authors' names. I would say maybe Stephen King. Anybody ever heard of him? or J.K. Rowling's. There's a couple names that I'll just throw out there. Even they go on television every time they write a book. Even they don't even have to. Everybody, y'all know their names. They still go out and sell books. You know that they're sitting there on television. They don't look like they want to be there at all. Neither are you. You're a writer, not a book salesman. Guess what? You better learn to be a book salesman if you want people to read your book. That's all there is to it. Every minute, every day, whatever you're doing. You're wearing orange, got the brand, it's everywhere. All the way, every day, it's on my glasses, it's on everything. I'd show you my underwears, but we're in church. My wife probably ironed it right on my cheeks. Ain't no telling, but that's what we sell books. It's not my favorite thing to do. But if I wrote it, I want people to see it, so you better sell books. You better get creative to sell books. You can keep writing books all you want. Write them. If that's what you enjoy doing, write them. And then buy them and get the cases and put them in your garage and walk by them every day. Enjoy those cases of books in your garage. Enjoy that. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. But I don't have any cases of books in my garage. I sell them. I sell them like crazy. And that's why my publisher says, you go to front of the line. That's why I sell as many books as I sell. Nobody, not even my wife, knows how many books I sold. Me and my publisher, that's it. I don't share that number with me, my publisher, and Jesus. That's it. Nobody else knows. I won't share that number. But I'm going to tell you what, it'll make your head explode because it's on Walmart.com. It's on Target. You name a store, it's there. Every one of the stores. I didn't go visit Walmart. I don't even know those people. They live in Arkansas. By God, it's there because you know why? Let me tell you why it's there. Because they're going to make money. They're not going to sell your book unless they make money selling your book. They're not going to carry your book unless they make money. They're retail. Cheddar cheese, right? The cheddar cheese. Remember making it rain? You bring your book in there, you show them how you're going to make it rain, they'll carry your book. Sell the books. Keep selling them. Don't stop selling them. Little Orange Tea's not 13 years old. There's kids who got it at 6. Now they're in college, right? 13 years, 6 plus 13 is 19. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you about the number one place that sells my books. Y'all want to hear the place that sells the most? You would think it's Walmart or Amazon or the Vol Shop or Alumni Hall or Smoky Mountain Knife Works or University of Tennessee Hospital. I can go on and on. I'm going to tell you about the place that sells most of my books. It's fantastic. Y'all know Helen Morton? You don't know Helen Morton? You ought to know Helen Morton. She's a fantastic lady. She owns a store called University Liquor Store. What? Helen Morton at the University Liquor. It's the only liquor store down by a campus. It's right there on Cumberland Avenue. It's the only one. There's only one. She owns the market on liquor stores at campus. Come on, man. They sell more of my children's books there than any other place. Now, I don't normally brag about that because it's children's books. You know, those parents and those folks come through and they get us some Vizzies. You know what I'm talking about, those Vizzies. Those fruity drinks, and they get a copy of the Little Orange Tea. I don't know how she does it. She sells more books, and when she gets a case, I go by and I sign every one of them, so she signs them. It don't matter. Sell your books everywhere. Everywhere you can. And just keep selling them. Does that make sense? So y'all, I guess, I don't know. I could talk on forever and ever. Yes, ma'am.
My question was, how did they get in Walmart if you never made any contact with Walmart?
That's a fantastic question. You know how stuff gets in Walmart? Walmart wants to make money. Just exactly what I said earlier. You show them that they're going to make money, they'll carry whatever you got.
So who showed them?
I don't know. I guess maybe the publishing house or maybe the warehouse. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just know that Barnes & Noble couldn't hang on to them. And once people see them buying them up, they're all going to buy them up. Amazon can't hang on to them. Sold out, just about sold out. Right? So and I promote the guts out of it. I mean, you can't get on social media, look at University of Tennessee, anything without me beating you up. I'm telling you, it's free. It's free. Facebook is free. Nobody charges you a nickel for advertising. Why aren't you pounding it every day? Yes, ma'am.
So is this publishing company in Johnson City publishing all the things that are going out now?
Yeah, she has all my books. And she doesn't have my Christian book. My Christian books are Create Space. Is that what they still call it on Amazon? I don't know what they call it.
ADP.
Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah, and they just write me checks.
Yeah.
Or they direct deposit, I guess is what they do now. So my Christian books are just on Amazon. I don't try to put them anywhere else.
But the one at Johnson City does all your children's.
100%, yeah. My illustrators here in Farragut, and then everything goes to Jan Carroll, and that's where all the publishing happens, shipping and whatever they do. I don't know the magic behind it. I really don't. But the only magic, once she gets it, I get it, I approve it. Now I go and sell it, and I don't stop selling it. Not for nothing. Don't stop at all. And I don't care who it is. I'm going to sell it to every single person there is. That tall to that tall. Sell it all of them. And keep on. Yes, ma'am.
I do know how books get into Walmart. One of my publishers, I was with an imprint of Penguin, and one of my books got put on the shelves in Walmart, sold a lot of copies. And I said, how did that happen? And she said, we offer all of our books to Walmart. All the publishers offer all their books to Walmart. The buyers at Walmart go through and they pick what they want.
Yeah, I haven't seen my book on the shelf at Walmart because frankly I don't go there a lot.
It's not there
if we do go there, my wife goes there, but it's on the .com. It's on their website. And I know it's on their website for one reason, because they can make money off of it. That's why they sell anything, right? If we remember they sell stuff to make money, then we need to help them make money so they'll sell our stuff. Simple as that. How do we do that? Promote your book. Care about your book. Talk about your book. In this room, we're all going to talk about our books. Everybody's got a book. Out there, not everybody got one. They need one of yours. They need a couple of them, especially for Christmas. My favorite time. Anyhow, yes, ma'am.
So, what are your tactics for social media?
Yeah. So, promotion. That's it.
How do you?
Like even this AGT, I think I wrote last night that I'm going to AGT, and that's not America's Got Talent. That's Authors Guild Tennessee. So I got some yucks and some stuff like that, right? All the books have a Facebook page. Look at again, Facebook is your own personal website. You're worried about having a .com over there. Again, that's a dinosaur. That's the wolf. I'm going to talk about the wolf. Okay. The website's the wolf. Very few people, look at your traffic there. Very few people are coming by. You can look at the backside and check your traffic, but your social media, you're going to get all kinds of stops, all kinds of peaks, especially if you're promoting it. So that's what we use, social media. That's the only way I sold any books. Every book I ever sold is because of social media. Zero. That's $0 in
What
it.
social media do you use?
Facebook.
Just Facebook?
Facebook, yeah, parents. That's right. I don't use Instagram. They're high school kids, and I think I have an Instagram and a Twitter site that when I put it on Facebook, it automatically puts it there. But I never look. I don't pay no attention to those things at all. It just immediately goes there. But I just put it on Facebook. That's it, because that's where people who have disposable income go. Everybody else is using their parents' disposable income. Does that make sense? Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if you're published on Ingram Spark?
Ingram, I don't know. I know that we were wrestling with Random and Penguin. Is it because we wanted to get on the Imagination Library with Dolly?
Yeah.
Right? And they only use, I believe, Random Penguin. And so we were wrestling with them. And then I just finally said, you know what, forget it. I don't need it. Even though Dolly Parton's in the Little Orange Tea and Pat Summitt, just all kinds of Tennessee characters. Because I don't need to be there. That's fine to sell enough books without that. So I'm not going to. We spent a little bit of time working on it, but then I said, I'm not going to spin my wheels. I'm going to just go somewhere else where people are going to take the book, and they'll get it eventually. There ain't no doubt about it, because we just keep showing up. We keep moving units, keep selling books. And when I talk to my publisher, that's what I talk about. I told you. She gets 70, I get 30. I could get 70. Without a doubt, I can get 70. And she get 30. I sell enough books. But that's not the idea behind it. I got a brand. And that's when I'm going to make my money, when I sell that brand. So we're looking on the backside. Anyway, I could go back down that path. You don't want to go down there. Ultimately, if you move enough books, sell enough books, they're going to come after you. When I met with Naren, the owner of Mascot Books, because they weren't selling they weren't getting them out fast enough. Now, we had the problem 2 times, and this was the 3rd time, so I knew I was done. So I drove to Virginia to talk to him. Drove all the way to his office to talk to him because that was enough. And I'll be frank with the line of question. Is that okay? I said, at that time I'd been with him for 5 years. I said, what author has been with you the longest? He said, you. I said, me, really? He said, yeah, most people write 1 book. You know, they sell a few to their family members or a few here and there, and then they go away. He said, some people write maybe 2 books, but very few. He goes, you've been with me 5 years. I said, who sells the most books? He said, you by far. He said, you sell way more books every year, year after year. When football season starts up or Christmas comes up, you just keep selling books. I said, very good. Then why aren't you getting my books out? And then he started the excuse factory like most people do. Right? There's no excuse to sell your books. Why aren't you getting my books out? Well, we had an account manager and I had some change and this and that and all this other stuff. I said, well, that's not on them. That's on you. When you hired a new person to come in and handle these authors, you should have told them who sells the most books, who makes you the most money. Watch that they don't run out. This was in January of the year because I always call and see how many books I sold over Christmas because I push them like crazy, right? Social media. I said, how many books did I sell at Christmas? He said, you ran out of books in November. He said, we didn't print. Of course, I was about to explode because I like money. I don't love it. I love Jesus, but I like money. And my wife really likes it. And I like spending it on her. I love spending it on her. And if he ain't selling books, I don't have money to spend on my wife. So he ain't no good to me. That's the bottom line. He get in his own pocket because I walked on him. That's the deal. So, and I got the new publisher to Barnes & Noble. I went and interviewed the leadership at Barnes & Noble and said, who can you depend on that's in the state? Because I don't want to have to drive all the way to Virginia. I tend to lose my anger the further I have to drive. So when I get there, I just want to talk to them instead of punch them in the nose. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I want them to be closer so that they get a nice pop in their nose. So needless to say, we got Jan Carroll out of Johnson City, and they've been fantastic. Yes, ma'am?
Sorry, he was first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
What is the percentage of profit you make on a book sold through Walmart?
Now, I have no idea. My publisher, she's the one who sends them there. I got no clue. On the books that are sold, I get, well, it all depends. Little Orange Tea is, like I said, 70-30, but the Rocky Top book, that's not a brand. That's not in the Little Orange Tea family, so we do 50-50 on that one now. It's going up. I'll go 60-40 and then reprint because she couldn't hang on to them. They're plumb loopy, but you know the song's pretty popular, right? I don't know if you ever heard it or not. It's a really popular tune, and it's in a children's book, so it really added faces to the song, you know, characters to the song. Old Rocky and Wild Mink and Soda Pop and all those folks. Anyway, I don't know. I can't answer. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'll be frank with you, okay? I don't care as long as Walmart's selling them. I don't care. Sell them. I don't care where they sell them. I love Helen. And they sell them at the university liquor store. I want you to see the characters on the book. They're kids' books. You can sell them anywhere you want. They can sell them at church or at the Trump Superstore for all I care. They sell them everywhere. Yes,
Does
ma'am.
the university liquor store sell other books?
Do they?
Yes. Is that a good place to sell books?
Is it?
I'm asking.
That's a good place for her to make money. Does your book sell? Go in there and give her one and see if she'll sell it. That's
How many does she have?
of my book.
No, approximately how many
Me not
titles?
know that. I don't know. I don't look at other people's books. I got one book for sale.
Does she have a big display?
No, she does displays of
bookcase?
liquor. No, I only go in there and see my book. I sign them and I leave.
So you haven't seen other books that she
No,
has?
ma'am. No. Mm-mm. It's an odd place to sell books, right? They sell
I
more
would
books
think
than
so,
any
but
place.
apparently not.
Well,
No, well,
people that buy liquor have kids.
Go ahead, all day long. People in the children's hospital, people here, people there. You look at your target market, right? I mean, I don't I don't promote on social media to Alabama fans or whatever fan you are. I promote to Tennessee fans. You got to pick your target market. I don't know what kind of books you write. If you write books for those folks, that's where I'd go in and try to sell them. But you got to sell the book. They're not just going to buy them, sir.
What kind of margin do you give that retailer? Do they make 40% on your book? Do they make 50% or 55%?
Oh, you're a classy looking guy. I like that hat and everything. You're doing it.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. Appreciate
I'm going that way. I got I told my wife, I says, I want to be blonde, right? She said, you're turning antique blonde. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So the books, they went up to $20 now. $20 a piece. They used to be $15 in hardcover before COVID. $15 a piece in hardcover. They're $20 in softcover now. Insane. Isn't that crazy?
So how much margin does the retailer make?
Well,
on it?
I gotta
You're
give you the
talking about
backstory first.
You're going to make money off your books.
Yes, sir.
How much do they make?
I'm going to give you the backstory first. We're getting there. We're getting there. They used to make less. The books were less. They were 15. Like I said, in hardcover. I was almost there, and you got me again, Ron. Hold on a second. Were we talking about Chick-fil-A sandwiches? No, I'm just kidding. Look, so at the end of the day, the books are $20. That's what the retail cost is in the books. I think that she sells them to them and ships them to them for $7.50.
Okay.
That's $12.50 they make per book.
Okay.
That's my guess. If it ain't, it's $10. $10 a book. Every book. 10 smacks. 10 buckaroonies, Ron. You understand? That's good money. That's good money. If they ain't making the money, they're not going to sell your book. And if you don't sell the book, ain't nobody going to buy it because they're not making the money. It's just simple. Again, right back to the beginning. Don't nobody care unless you care. Nobody, your family don't care. Your cousin don't care. They ain't reading the book unless you care and you got the passion. And if you got the passion, they're going to look at your book. If you don't got the passion, enjoy. I'm sorry for saying the case of books that you walk past to get in your car in the garage every day.
I just have to share, if you see me snickering over here, it's because one of my main mottos is nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They do. We can get them to pray about it in church, but that ain't going to help you sell books. You got to get out there and sell them. When you sell books, they're going to carry them on every shelf, even at university. Hey, Helen, if you're watching, I love her to death. She sells more books. Oh, she makes me so happy. Yes, ma'am.
Can we talk a little bit about your writing process? So
Yeah.
You have his adventures
Yeah.
in mind.
Yes.
You write one at a time.
Yeah.
And you go to a couple at a
Yeah,
time.
so it's just being goofy, right? You want to write, my books all rhyme, children's, but your books rhyme? Well, they all rhyme. It's crazy rhymes. I think you had wanted to be a washed up rapper at one time to write children's books. You know, like Snoop Dogg. Anybody know who Snoop Dogg is? Yeah, Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg, right? They hang out together. You know, Snoop Doggy Dogg, bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay. Snoop Doggy Dogg is in the house. That's the best rhyme ever. He would have made the best children's book out of that if you left the cuss words out. That's the trick. You got to leave. You could be a good children's author, but you got to leave the cuss words out, and most of them fall off after that. Needless to say, so you just have goofy stories, right? And all the time have a goofy mind. And when the idea comes, it's just like for the Christian books. When the ideas come, they drive me crazy. Like, they bounce around your head. You can't get them out. So I just sit up in the middle of the night and write it down, or I text it to myself. Now it makes room for the next idea, and then I store them all. Then I get them out. The process is pretty funny. I get them all off the computer. You store them in a file. And I write them on index cards, the idea. Just a couple of words, whatever it is. I know what it means. And I tic-tac them to my office wall. And my wife walks in there and she thinks, oh my God, I got a psycho living here. All these weird little sayings all over the walls. Yeah, I move them around so that they kind of flow together. I sit, write them, and take them off the wall. After they're all off the wall, the book's done. Pretty simple. That's as simple as I can do it. But as far as the children's stories, I always get the beginning and middle and end in mind of where I want it to end up. But ultimately, my children's books, every single one of them, are what I call gateway books. And gateway means is, Ron, it's like when you used to smoke weed and everybody would tell you, hey, Ron, That's a gateway drug. If you do that, you're going to be a drug addict, right? So my books, I call them gateway books. They all start with Jesus and they end with prayer. And they are full of gratefulness and thankfulness. That's what they start with. So that way hopefully, they're the gateway to those young folks finding the Bible. I say that without any hesitation, reservation at all. Don't care who hears it. They're gateway books. And every one of them starts with the thanks of our Lord and Savior, our Creator, and every one of them ends up with some sort of gratefulness or prayer. Period. And it hasn't slowed down selling them at all. So there's always those little things we slip in there. Like in the one book, Smokey hurts his foot and he has to wear a cast. So all of my friends, folks who help me, like Calhoun's, they sell my books, and you heard of restaurant Calhoun's, they would have them there, and Vol Navy, where all the boats, and all these different places. I let these people sign Smokey's cast in the picture before they got published. So if you open it and you see Smokey's cast, it got all these names written on there. These are all people who helped me sell books, the first book. Does that make sense? So they're actually enshrined in the second book. So you kind of slip things in like that. That encourages them to sell a second book. Right? Yes, ma'am.
We get it. You're quite assertive in the way you present yourself in the books, which is wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
What I want to know is, how did you make all these contacts with all the people on the campus?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you just have one person that you contacted, and then they said, "Oh, we'll sell it here, 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 and here"?
Yes, ma'am.
Or did you have to go to every one of those stores?
Every one of them.
You
I
went
walked
there?
in, yes, ma'am.
You personally?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I walked in every one of them. I walked in the Vol shop on campus. Have y'all ever been in the Vol shop?
Yep.
Football game, they got their own store, but Vol shop just full, right? I walked in the Vol shops because I wanted my book in the Vol shop. Now we did Barnes and Noble and a couple places, and I'm just like, yeah. Now you start getting encouraged, you know what I mean? And a little sassy. If I'm a little too sassy, forgive me. It's just in my nature.
Assertive.
Yes, ma'am. My wife is super hot. And when I mean hot, I mean I did way better than I should have. Needless to say, so I got to be a little bit ostentatious. That's my $5 word for today. Somewhat ostentatious, just for her to pay attention to me. Needless to say, either that or I get a gift card to Chesapeake's around my neck, and she'll follow me anywhere. Go ahead. So ultimately, I hope she doesn't see that. So, I'll go in and just ask them. I'll carry books. Y'all heard me say it. I ain't selling no books. If you want one, go ahead and take it. I'll sign it for you. That's just a part of reinvesting, isn't it? Go ahead and take it. Don't be shy. If you want to leave me $20, that's fine. But if you ain't got to, just take one. I'll sign it for you or whoever. That's the same way I walked into the Vol shop or here or there. After I went to Vol shop, I got a call and I said, a friend of mine said, I seen your book at the Vol shop on campus. I can show you a picture of it. There's all kinds of pictures posted in there, but our friend couldn't make it. I went in the Vol shop and there was my book, Little Orange Tea, on the top shelf. I was standing out, it's a glass door, I was crying. There's tears in my eyes. No exaggeration, tears in my eyes. I couldn't believe that my book was on campus at the Vol shop. Not a licensing button on it. Everything in the store has that chrome thing. You know what it is. It says that university owns that. I own that. In their store, the only one thing, because they're going to make cheddar cheese. They're going to make money. And I stood out there and I was crying. I went in and I grabbed the books, truth, and held it in my hand. They were hardcover then. I held it in my hand. I said, man, Lord, thank you, and it, just quietly in my mind, just being so prayerful. And the gal come over. It's an older gal, real smart looking lady. And she said, oh, honey, you need to buy that book. That's what she said. I said, I do. And I was kind of mopping myself up. And she said, oh, yeah, that's my favorite book. Oh, I love that book. I said, well, tell me about it. I didn't let her see my picture on the back of it, of course. And she said, oh, we had Al Roker come down here. Y'all remember Al Roker used to tell the weather. They used to tell when people were 100 years old. I was hoping that I'd get my picture on there one day. Was that Willard used to say that before Al, didn't he? You remember Willard? I'm showing my age now. So she said Al Roker was here on campus, and he got in Neyland Stadium and made the world's largest power tee. That's Tennessee and the big power T. And out of people, they all stood there, right? They did a drone shot or whatever. She said, and he mentioned a book, a children's book, and it's this one over here, Smokey. She said, and we bought cases of it, knowing that we were going to sell all those Smokey books, because Al Roker said it on the Today Show. I said, oh, what happened? She said, we still got cases of them. They bought all these little orange tea books. That's what she said. I said, they did? She said, yes. She said, oh, it's the best story. You're going to love it. I said, you're so sweet to say that to me because I'm the one who wrote it. She said, no, you're not. I said, oh, yeah, there's my picture with my wife on the back. She said, you did? Oh, she was so excited. She said, would you sign one for me? I said, oh, it'd be my pleasure, absolutely. So she grabbed one. I said, I thought you said you read it. She said, yeah, but I read the free one. I'm going to buy this one. So she said, I said, all right. So I said, and I'll tell the manager, I said, you just call me when you get books. I'll come and sign them. It don't matter. I'll drive over and just sign them real quick and take a picture usually, and I put it on social media and just, kind of promote. I know it sounds like you're bragging, but it's not. Bottom line is, if you don't ring your own bell, ain't nobody going to ring it for you. So ring your bell, right? Ring it a little bit. You don't have to say I. You can say we if you feel bad. I say we all the time. I just said on social media, we're going to Authors Guild of Tennessee tomorrow. You know what I mean? I don't want to say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Sounds, it's not a good look. So you say we, but ring your bell. Ring it all the time. If it ain't printed on the back of your car and a sticker or whatever .com or Facebook page you got, you're stopping the traffic. We all live in Knoxville now. We know we're getting stuck in traffic. You better have something on your car. You ought to be promoting everywhere you go. Promoting. Because if you ain't selling books, they ain't going to sell them for you. That's the deal. Again, if you have any more questions, I'll be glad to answer any question there is. Even that orange is my favorite color. I do like dark blue, like navy blue, and a men's medium is, in case you want to get me for my birthday's March the 13th. Pretty much you're going to get me the same thing you got me last year, right? Yeah, I knew it. Well, I enjoyed it last year, so I guess I'll enjoy the same gift this year. It's a heaping pile of nothing. Thank you. I say that with all sincerity because I know there's a lot of smart people in this room, creative, got imaginations. Your imagination, I tell the kids all the time, it is better than this. Because this, and everything that comes on this or that, is somebody else's imagination. It's their colors. It's their sounds. It's their angles. It's their hair. It's them. You're just getting lost in their imagination. But when we read what you have, we get to use our imagination. The colors are vivid in our mind because of what you wrote on the page. Does that make sense? This is a beautiful thing that happens. Better than anything that could ever happen on that. Way better than anything that could happen on this. The whole idea is getting that across to these folks. Whatever it is, the big aha, right? At the end, the aha, whatever you're going to use for your aha. That right there does way more than that thing will ever do. And I don't care how many billions of dollars. There should be a movie called The $1 Million Movie when I was a young man. We couldn't believe that a movie cost an entire $1 million. Wow. Heck, they don't even get started talking about it unless they have way more than that in their pocket. They spend all that money on those movies, and it doesn't even come close to what people get to enjoy reading your books. Why wouldn't you sell them? Why wouldn't you sell them like crazy, right? That they could enjoy that beauty that y'all get to offer up. Whatever the story is, whatever it's, whether it's dogs or wolves or men or monkeys, it don't matter. Whatever the story is, they're going to use their imaginations. And those kids don't know. These folks don't know. I'm 60-year-old. I'll be 60 in March. I know that I look a lot younger, and I appreciate y'all saying that. Don't stop. Go ahead. No, go stop. Don't go ahead. No, forget it. You had a chance. At the end of the day, you got the great opportunity to inspire these folks. Whether you inspire them to read more, just a beautiful thing. Absolutely most beautiful thing there is. Or to even learn to write. I'm going to encourage you to just keep doing that. This group right here, I came here, like I said, it was probably 13 or 15 years ago. I can't remember. I sat in the back of the room and stayed quiet. It's really difficult. It inspired me to do that, to write. I wrote some Christian books, and again, they're on Amazon, whatever. We're blessed by them. I don't promote them, and I don't push them. They just find their own life, and they do very well. But at the end of the day, this room, because I came here and I said, wow, look at all these authors. These are real people. I didn't write anything yet. The good Lord put it on my heart to do it. I'd never written a book before, and really, frankly, I only read one full book from cover to cover. Y'all know what that is. So at that point, I only read one full book my whole life, from cover to cover. And I wrote my first book after that because I visited. This is a true story. I visited this room, and I didn't have near enough money to join. I live in Lenore City, not in Telco Village. Sorry. That's supposed to be a joke too. Y'all can laugh at that. I love Telco Village. You kidding me? We go to the yacht club on our boat and eat dinner there all the time. And we used to spend all our time at the Stanassi before it burnt down. Anyhow, y'all know where that is. It's fantastic. It was anyways, and hopefully it's coming back. Needless to say, I want to encourage y'all. I don't care what your age is. It don't matter to me. I'm 60. I write children's books. I don't care how old you are. Don't care if you got breath and you sell books. Don't care how many books. I'm glad you wrote dozens of books. Sell all of them. Sell them like crazy. Push one and sell the guts out of it. Just keep selling them. Don't be ashamed of it. All that work you did, all that time, all that imagination, not to share that with other people. There's cases of books sitting in your garage. I want you to pick them up and just start giving them away. What are they doing in your garage? You ain't blessing nobody with it. And sign it. I don't care if it's somebody in a grocery store. You run out the car and grab one. I'll go wherever I go. There's a parents with a kid. I go out in the car and get a book. That kid's going home with it. Every time I give it to them, I tell the parents, I said, y'all got social media? Oh yeah, everybody does, right? I said, y'all mind take a picture and put it on your social media? I give away one book and sell 20, right? Because they put it on their social media. That's it, keep promoting. You got to get those people to ring your bell. Does that make sense? Y'all follow me? It's always any kind of angle. But if you've got books sitting in your garage, you're just sitting there, grab them up and give them out. Will you? And if anything, if they don't read it, at least you bless them with it. They could get the campfire started this spring. Huh? At least they're doing something. They probably used mine for that after they turned about. One time, Ron, they said, would you come read at our school? I read all the time. I go anywhere in the state. I don't care. If they want to hear my book, I'll go. I don't care. But I try not to go to third or fourth. I don't go to fourth grade. Fourth graders look like they want to beat me up. They've been spending way too much time on this thing, right? They're playing all sorts of violent video games in this thing. By the time I go in there and read the Little Orange Tea, they look at me like, dude, when you get done reading, we're going out in the parking lot. They got that look at their face of like, I ain't coming back to fourth grade. But I'll go second grade, third grade, anywhere else, and I'd be glad to go. It's a lot of fun. The kids have a lot of fun, even though the kindergartners spend most of their time picking their noses and whispering, fidgety on the ground. But needless, it don't matter. Just go to them anyways and sell books because they're going to get them eventually. Does that make sense? Any other questions? Good. I talked long enough, didn't I?